Hello, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. This is Too Many Bones, and it has been too long since I have been playing this game. It's only been 4 or 5 days, but it feels like forever. I'm very excited to get back into this playthrough. What actually kept me away from this over the past 4 or 5 days or so has been a new addition to the family. I am now a proud father of a new daughter, and we have been very, very busy, my wife and I, taking care of her and getting ourselves into a routine which is manageable. So just want to let you guys know that that was the reasoning for the Too Many Bones playthrough kind of halting out there for a few days, but we are back on track and ready to rock and see if we can take down Drellen in the process. Now, where we left off in the last video was we were on day 8 and we were still going for Drellen in Paleface. We had decided to go for an extra encounter, of which I chose to do the bottom of that encounter, which was just happened to be the nastier of the two decisions, but it would give us a trove loot if we're successful. So we're hoping that that ends up in a success, so we can gather that as well as we'll get a regular loot and a training point and stuff like that. We don't really need any more progress points. We've got more than enough to fight Drellen whenever we decide to. The plan is to do that on the next day, which would be day number 9. So we're going to start our battle off here, and I can tell you right now I'm very, very scared. So I've already moved this up to the top because he is going to be the first person to go, and that is our nasty Griffin Howler. Now this guy, what he's going to do essentially is he's going to move. He's a melee character. He's going to go to the person closest to him. Now going all the way around, he cannot move diagonally, so he's going to come down here to Patches to be adjacent. So now he's right next to Patches and ready to cause him some pain and suffering. And this is what I'm worried about. This gigantic attack that he's capable of doing is 3 attack dice. But before we go ahead with the attack, we'll do his special, or not his special abilities, but his skills. For his skills, he has Dive, Flight, and Signal. So let's go take a look at what those are. Actually, you know what? We're very familiar with those. Those are nasty, and we know that if the Flight effect die is active on the unit at the start of its turn immediately places unit adjacent to the weakest available opposing unit. Oh, okay, so this guy's going to come out of the sky and kind of come after this guy later on, so which is really bad. So what he's going to do here essentially is he's going to go into flight essentially, and it says after this unit attacks, place the flight effect die in it. So we're going to go ahead and do his attack to start off. So he moved, we'll do his 3 attack dice on Patches, and we're really hoping that the damage that he throws at us is not too heavy, because this could really take a hit against Patches, and we really need him to not suffer too much. So we're hoping for bones here. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me. Now, you know what? In most cases, I would sit there and say, geez, that's almost cocked, but you know what? It's flat. I'm counting it. So that's 3 bones, guys. He completely missed Patches. Literally ridiculous. I don't even know what the chances of rolling 3 bones like that are, especially on a enemy attack that strong. But that's great news. He doesn't do any attack to us, or damage, I should say. So Patches is still fine. Now we're going to go ahead and do his effect. So he dives. But he's not in flight, so his dive effect doesn't trigger. His flight effect, though, will trigger. After he attacks, you place the flight effect die on the character, so we're going to go ahead and do that. He's now in flight. And then, while he's in flight, he's also untargetable, so we cannot target him, so he also gains this leaf kind of die to show that we cannot target him back because he's up in the air. He's too far away from Patches for us to do any damage. So sadly, we cannot target him, but that's the end of that unit's turn. Now, the only other thing he has, if you'll notice, is something right there that says Signal 1. Well, what does Signal 1 do? Signal 1, it says add to the bottom of the baddie queue 1 additional baddie, 1 level below this baddie. Skill occurs a number of times once per round. So this is going to be on round 1. Signal 1 means we have to pull a regular 1 baddie and put it on the bottom of the baddie queue. So we are now at 2 baddies coming out. So we're now up to 6 that we're going to have to basically take out in order to win this encounter, making it even more difficult. Hopefully the first roll we got there will help us. This might be a long haul of a battle. So that's the end of that. Now we can go to Patches, who is going to go ahead. Doesn't need to heal because he's never been hit, which is amazing. We know first off that essentially he's untargetable. So he is a character we do not have to worry about currently because we cannot focus our fire on him. But we could go right after this Goblin Sapper, and I think that makes perfect sense. Let's try to hit the biggest guy who does the most damage with 3 dice and get him out of the way first. If I roll really bad and get some bones, I could potentially try to use my mechanical boomerang to put 2 damage on someone, and my plan would be to go after the Goblin Sandbagger and knock him completely off the map. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, again, it comes down to rolling and lots of chance. So we go ahead with Patches. We've got ourselves 4 attack dice, which we'll use 6 dexterity total. So we'll do 3, 4, 5, 6. We could even do, maybe we'll do that. We'll just get our defense right up there. So we'll do like 4 attack dice and 2 defense dice now, because thankfully we have that extra defense. Now, the other question is, should we use toxins? And that's a very, very interesting thought. It may be worth our while to actually use a toxin die on him to take him down really, really quick. The debate. Do I do that? Or should I be using the toxin die on this guy when he comes back down to Earth? I think I'm going to wait on the toxins and use it on him so I can continually hit him when he's in flight and stuff like that. So I'm going to focus my fire on him. It's going to be 4 attack dice, 2 defense dice to try and keep myself safe. The one nasty thing about him, he's got a mischief of 2. So the other thing I'm thinking of too is that when he kickstarts right after me, he's going to go into my active dice pool, which could potentially be a defense dice, and he's going to get rid of them. So this is where I go, oh, I don't know if I want to have 2 defense dice in there. That could actually end up backfiring on me. Because he has mischief, maybe we change our strategy here and we actually use the toxin die on him in order to maybe guarantee that we kill him, and then we can focus on going after the other guys who have less of a mischief attack. Only this guy has a mischief after that point. But we still have a defense in there too. So let's give it a shot, see what happens. Who knows how this is going to pan out, but here goes, guys. And what's happening? We're going after that Goblin Sapper. Whoa, what's going to happen? Okay, what do we got here? So we got a 2 poison. That's not bad. Let's take a look at that ability again on the card. So again, this matches up with the poison ability, and it does say set or reset. You put that on the target, takes 2 damage, equal effect at the start of the turn. So the cool thing is we're putting it on him, and he's going to start his turn next. So he'll be affected by the 2 poison. That's good news. We also gained 4 hits. Hey guys, we're in good shape here. 4 hits off of this sapper who only has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's awesome. He's down to 1 health. So the poison, when he starts his turn, is going to kill him instantly, which is awesome. So he'll be gone. We also got a bone, our first bone, which we can put inside the our backup plan there to get closer to a heal gearlock, or even on a 2 bone using the boomerang. I was hoping for 2 bones there, but I didn't get it. And we get 1 defense die, which we'll put up here in our active area. So we got some good options here. Not a bad turn. Now the really cool thing about this is when Patches has done his turn from his initiative, the next person in line actually goes as the trader, and the trader has the ability to move 2 and attack 2. So at this point, it makes perfect sense to have the trader come to here and use that attack 2 to try to take this guy out before he has a chance to do anything. He's only got 2 health, and we get 2 attack dice, so the trader might be able to actually help us take somebody out. So let's do it and see what happens here. Oh, come on! There we go, 3. We got 3 dice, so that 3 hits. So this guy has been taken out of the equation. So we'll put him in the pile. This lane is now empty and will be filled with a battle cube baddie at the end of the round. We don't put them in right away. Comes in at the end of the round. His health is gone. That's awesome. So we'll go ahead and take the green lane die out because that is no longer in effect. And we're good to go. So that worked out pretty good. What else we got here? So that was great, actually. That worked out really good. So what's going to happen now is essentially my Patches turn is done. I've also gone with the trader, so this die is fully done, and now we start with the next one in line, which is the individual we were attacking, which is the Goblin Sapper. Now the Goblin Sapper has a poison on him. Thankfully we decided to use that, and at the very beginning of the Goblin Sapper's turn, he takes the amount of poison specified on the dice, and then it counts down to the next one. So he's going to take 2 damage, and he only has 1 health, so we've just knocked off another guy. There's 2 of them gone in the very, very first round so far. So we're doing great. The poison die is exhausted now because its use is done, and it doesn't just transfer to anybody else. So there you go. We got it all covered. Not bad, guys. Not bad. Things are clearing up. Now remember, we still have guys in the queue that are just chomping at the bit to get in here. Our real key to victory is going to be taking this stupid bird down, the griffin down, as fast as possible, so that there's no possibility of it using signal too many times and getting us a little bit too buried. But we're really doing great for health, so that's a huge plus. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, we've now officially finished our term, so this guy is out of the running. So actually, because the poison killed him, his die can come out of the track as well. So the next one to go will be the Bog Pole, who's in the back. Now, he poisons, and you'll notice that he actually has kind of something in a rectangle there. 2 weak characters is what he's showing there. So essentially with that, because he's ranged, you always use whatever's in that rectangle in terms of who you're going to be targeting, because ranged characters can hit anything on the mat. So he's going to hit 2 of us, and sadly that's going to be the traitor and myself. But it's only for a poison of 1, so it's not too bad. So we're just going to go ahead and grab poison counters, or poison dice I should say, and put them on our characters. So he's poisoned us from a distance, but it's not terrible. And that's essentially it. Now we can go like this. We've now covered all of the turns for the round, so that's good. We can move this down a bit. We'll flick this over to round 2, and now we can start bringing in the next baddies into the next lanes. So what do we got here? Let's go ahead and flip the next baddie coming into the fray. Oh geez, that is not what we wanted to see. This is a clay golem. I think these guys are brutal. They also cause a lot of grief because I think they exhaust attack dice. Like, they literally exhaust the attack dice that you use. So if you use 4 attack dice and you hit him for any amount of damage, those attack dice do not go back in the general pool. They get exhausted. And that means it counts against your total attack dice you can use in later attacks. Very vicious. If I'm remembering that correctly, we'll double check. But he's vicious. So we're going to put him on the map. He's going to come in the next lane that's open, so that's 2. He gets 5 health, so he's got 3 there. We'll grab 2 more. And I believe he's a melee character, because that would only make sense. Yep, he's melee, so he'll end up right here beside me, sadly. Hopefully I can do something about that. Now he does come in with an initiative of 2, so that's the plus side. He's gonna, and just so you guys are aware, baddies that are 1s or 5s always come in at the bottom of the queue, and then ones that are tyrants or 20-point baddies come in at the top. But this one's a 2, so he's going to be way down at the bottom. So we'll just go like this. So he's at the end of the track, which is good because we get to attack him first. And now we have to flip to find out what this other one in the queue is. He's going to be filling in lane 4. We've got ourselves, oh look, so not only do we have a bog pole, now we've got ourselves a, let's see if this thing can focus, and a bog frog. All right, so he's got 4 health, and he'll be coming in lane 4, and he's also melee. So this is where things get interesting. I actually am not too sure what happens when I'm sitting in the melee spot. 2, 3, 4. So if I'm in the melee spot, I believe, I might have to double check this. Let me just see here. If the position's occupied, the baddie will instead take the first available baddie position, starting with lane 1 and then working to 4. So technically this guy would show up in lane 1, so he's going to be melee, he shows up here. That's what happens when you're kind of in the lane where he should be. He should have spawned here. But because he's in here, you then just use the lanes of 1, 2, 3, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you just start counting down through them until you find a spot to put him, so he'll end up here. So that's pretty nasty. We got a lot of guys kind of cluttering up there. And of course, he's got a 3 for initiative. Oh, I might have put the wrong die in there. I'm sorry, guys. So the die for this guy's purple. So that would be 2 for this guy. He's at the bottom. And then the die for this this bog frog is actually green. So this one's going to be a 3. And it also comes in at the bottom. So it's like this. Okay, the queue is clear, and we're ready to move into round 2. I'm a little scared because we're right back to pretty much full health on everybody. Not full health, but full, got 4 enemies in play, which is nasty. So let's see what we can do to try to survive this insanity. And we've got lots of guys who can poison, which is bad. Okay, so what we're going to do first is move into the very first character. So we're going to go ahead with our wonderful Griffin Howler. Now, it says that, and I'll just make sure that I remember the flight ability correctly. Where does it say here? After this unit attacks, place a flight die on it. Wonderful. Where is the flight? Flight, that's done. If the flight effect die is active on this unit at the start of its turn, immediately place this unit adjacent to the weakest available opposing unit and target it. Okay, so if the flight effect die is on it, at the start of his turn, immediately place this unit adjacent to the weakest available opposing unit. That would be this guy. So he's going to basically fly over here and land here, and he's going to target this guy, which is really bad news because I don't know how much damage that he can sustain from these hits. So this could be nasty. I don't really know how this is going to pan out, and hopefully it doesn't go too bad. Let's see. So then this comes off. It says The untargetable die is says until the start of the unit's next turn. This is the next turn. It cannot be targeted by opposing units and stuff like that. This guy's once he attacks kind of in the air because he has dive. So it says if the flight effect die is active on the unit, which it is, at the start of his turn, immediately place his unit adjacent. So I did that. And then after he attacks his unit, essentially, then these come off and we have the chance to attack him. So as of right now, he's going to make his attack against this guy. He's got 3 dice, we know that. And we're really hoping that he rolls some nasty bones again to prevent any damage, because I can only take 4 damage on him and he's got a poison coming. So this could be a game-changing or game-ending type roll. Here we go. Oh, there we go. That went south fast. Okay, so... with that, that ended up doing the damage it needed to do in order to kill the traitor. So sadly, we tried, but guys, this is what I'm saying. We had so many successful battles, but at this point in time, this guy only has 4 health, and he just literally took 4 damage. Even regardless, besides that, he had poison to come in the future. But the traitor has died, and when the traitor does die, according to the encounter card, it says traitor must survive. So in other words, you cannot win or become successful with this unless he survives. So the Molnaro traitor from this adventure has perished. We weren't all that great in terms of fighting him and stuff like that. We did lose the encounter. Now, the interesting part about this that I'm just going to double check on, it says if successful, remove the special encounter. We were not. What I'm trying to determine is whether or not I just keep going until Patches is now finished with his battle. Like, in other words, do I just keep fighting? I believe that based on the fact that this is a trigger, it says place a 4 HP gear lock on the melee position on the battle mat, which is the traitor. It just died. Traitor's friendly. He moves 2 and attacks 2 and takes its turn right after you. The traitor must survive. So my thought is that you can't really go any further if the traitor dies. I think it's an automatic end to this particular encounter. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm not 100% sure on that, you guys might be able to chime in the comments below, and this might be a perfect time to stop the video, because we do know the traitor has died. So either way, we're not going to successfully finish this encounter. But what I'm going to double check on is whether or not we should be playing through the rest of Patch's turns, essentially, to see how far he can get to keep himself alive. Because I do know in typical encounters, what you get hit with on Patches, like say for instance, if I was down to like 2 health or something, when the encounter's over, usually you move him to the prep area. And I just want to double check to ensure that he's not supposed to keep on fighting, essentially. Or if, as of right now, we triggered the end because we failed the encounter by having the traitor die. So if you know the answer to this question, or you've played this particular scenario before, or you have a comment or thought on what I should be doing next, please fire it in. I will also be going myself to the rulebook as well as the FAQ and stuff like that in order to find people's thoughts on this particular one, because it doesn't say that you just essentially stop the encounter outright, but it does say that the traitor must survive. So essentially it's an auto fail if he dies, and he just died. So this is the end, guys. This is the very first failure of an encounter we've had. So it's kind of funny. We're one away from, we're 1 day away from going to Drellen. So day 9 and 10 are going to be the 2 days we attempt to go for Drellen. I was really hoping to get this trove loot. I was also really hoping to get this training point and another loot, but it looks like we're going to just miss it. Which is really too bad, because we only now have med kit, fast hands, and we have the toxins, I believe, is the other one we have unlocked, which we've exhausted during this game. So it looks like the bone saw is going to be just out of reach unless we decide to hang around for day number 9 and do another encounter and then go for Drellen on 10. But then when we go for Drellen, it's a win. It's like a do or die situation. So here's the thing. 2 things I want you guys to chime in on. Number 1, let me know whether or not, if you're familiar with this particular scenario, whether I'm supposed to continue playing through with Patches until he is either dead or he wins. Either way, wins in terms of, knocking these guys out, but either way we're going to fail the encounter. But am I supposed to continue fighting, or does it end the second the traitor dies? That's what I want you guys to tell me in the comments below. And on top of that, I also want you to let me know whether or not we should spend day number 9, which is the next day, on another encounter, hoping to get another training point or two to get ourselves up to bone saw or something, or, you know, some more skills in there. Or we should say, screw it, we've gone too far, we need to get to Drellen. Let's just go for it and give ourselves 2 days to try to take him down. So let me know in the comments below what you think. If you haven't subscribed, the first time you have arrived at the channel and you're just starting to follow the playthrough, definitely subscribe, because then you'll be in the loop when new videos come out. And you also can be part of an amazing solo community that's continuing to grow every single day. I hope you guys are getting something out of this. I hope you guys are enjoying the game. I hope it's, at the end of the day, it's really helping you decide whether this game is something that you think you'd enjoy. Whether you have it in your hands already and are able to play these out with me, or you are waiting on it for its shipment in July. Either way, amazing game. Even though we lost, still lots of fun. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, keep on rolling solo.